Is a $10,000 French wine really that much better than $3 American wine? Hello Internet, today we're diving into the world of wines, from the humble $3 wine to the extravagant $10,000 masterpiece. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a grape adventure. Let's start with the basics. Wine has always had this air of sophistication and luxury. Growing up, I always thought wine was just fermented grape juice adults sip to feel fancy, like eating caviar and crackers, but there's a lot more to that. First of all, what makes wine expensive? Is it the grapes? The aging process? The bottle it comes in? Well, let's pop the cork on this mystery. To get a taste of the answer, we need to understand the winemaking process. Just as truffles aren't just any mushrooms, wine isn't just any beverage. It starts with the grapes, but there's a world of difference between the varieties and how they're grown. Cheap wines often use grapes grown in bulk, with mechanical harvesting and rapid production process. These wines are designed to be consumed young and fresh, and that's perfectly fine for a casual weeknight dinner. Picture a vineyard with rows and rows of wines, producing grapes that are quickly harvested and turned into wine. The focus here is on quantity and efficiency, not necessarily quality. Expensive wine, on the other hand, are a different story. Take the $10,000 French wine for the example. This isn't just any wine, it's often made from grapes, hand-picked from specific, carefully tended vineyards. These vineyards have terroirs, unique environments with specific climates and soil and landscape that are believed to give the wine its unique character. Imagine a picturesque vineyard in the French countryside, where each grape is meticulously cared for, ensuring only the best make it to the bottle. Before we delve deeper, let's address a common misconception. Ever heard someone say American wine is just as good as French wine? Bless their hearts. While American wine has made some significant strides in quality and reputation, it's often seen as the underdog compared to the centuries-old prestige of French wine. People often imagine French wine as the aristocrat of the wine world, with American wine playing the role of the enthusiastic, albeit less refined cousin. But is this stereotype fair? Let's find out. Let's delve into what makes French wine so luxurious. French wines often come from renowned regions like Bordeaux, Burgundy, and Champagne. Each of these regions has its own unique terroir and history. Bordeaux, for example, is famous for its red blends. It's like the Hollywood of wine regions. Everyone knows it, and everyone wants a piece of it. Burgundy is known for its Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Think of it as the indie film festival of wines, where the connoisseurs go to find hidden gems. And Champagne, well, that's the A-list party, where every bottle is a celebrity in its own right. Let's take a closer look to these regions. Bordeaux is located in southwestern France, produces some of the most sought-after wines in the world. Names like Chateau Margaux, Chateau Lafite Rothschild, and Chateau Latour are legendary. These wines can cost thousands of dollars per bottle. They're often aged for decades. Imagine a bottle of Chateau Margaux, 2009, which can sell over $1,000. It's like owning a piece of wine history. Burgundy, on the other hand, is all about land. The region is divided in small vineyards, each with its own unique characteristics. The top wines, like Domaine de la Romanée Conti, are produced in such small quantities that they're incredibly rare and expensive. A single bottle of Domaine de la Romanée Conti 1954 sold for $558,000 in 2018. That's right, more than $500,000 for a single bottle. Talk about liquid gold. Another key factor is regulations. French wine regulations are stricter than a nun with a ruler. In the US, it's more like a laid-back beach party. Fun, but sometimes a bit sloppy. In France, winemakers must adhere to strict rules regarding grape varieties, growing methods, and production processes. These regulations help ensure a consistent level of quality and maintain the prestige reputation of French wines. In the US, regulations are more relaxed, allowing for greater experimentation, but sometimes leading to inconsistent quality. French winemakers are often bound by the appellation d'origine contrôlée system, which dictates everything from which grapes can be grown to how they should be harvested and processed. This ensures that a wine from Bordeaux, for example, meets a certain standard of quality. In contrast, American winemakers have more freedom to experiment with different grape varieties and production techniques. This can lead to some innovative and exciting wines, but it also means there's a wide range of quality. But is all this effort really worth the price tag? Can a $10,000 wine really be that much better than a $3 bottle? Well, let's get into some testing notes. Imagine sipping a $3 wine. It's like watching a sitcom. Simple, straightforward, and enjoyable without much thought. Now picture the $10,000 French wine. This is like reading a classic novel. Rich, complex, and layered with subtle nuance that reveal themselves over time. Sure, you can enjoy both, but they offer very different experiences. But let's not just take my word for it. To really understand the difference, you'd need to compare them side by side. And that's where the fun begins. Wine experts often talk about the nose of the wine, its body, and its finish. A $10,000 wine might have a nose that invokes a symphony of aromas. Think dark berries, oak, a hint of vanilla. While $3 wine might just smell like, well, grapes. The body of the wine refers to the weight and texture of the palate. An expensive wine often has a full body with a silky texture, whereas a cheaper wine might feel more watery. That's the taste that lingers after you swallow. A high-end wine might leave a lasting impression, with flavor evolving and changing, while a budget wine's finish might be a quick and unremarkable. By the way, if you're enjoying this deep dive into the world of wine, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Beyond the Farm. We promise it's as refreshing as a glass of your favorite vintage, and we won't charge you $10,000 for it. Let's take an actual comparison. On one side, we have Charles Shaw wine, affectionately known as $2 Chuck, which is actually priced around $3. It's popular choice for its affordability and decent taste. On the other hand, we have Chateau Petrus 2010, a renowned Bordeaux wine that can cost up to $10,000 a bottle. Charles Shaw is your everyday go-to wine, while Chateau Petrus is the kind of wine you might drink once in a lifetime, if you're lucky. So how do they stack up? When you pour a glass of Charles Shaw, you get a straightforward, easy drinking wine. It's pleasant with fruity notes and a light body. It's the kind of wine you might bring to a casual dinner with friends. Chateau Petrus, however, is a whole different experience. It's like stepping into a world of luxury. The aromas are complex, with layers of fruit, earth, and spice. The body is rich and velvety, and the finish lingers, evolving on your palate long after you've taken a sip. But is the Chateau Petrus really worth 3,333 times the price of Charles Shaw? That depends on what you're looking for. If you're a wine enthusiast with a refined palate, you might appreciate the depth and complexity of the Chateau Petrus. But if you're just looking for a pleasant drink to enjoy with dinner, Charles Shaw might be more than enough. And that brings us to the question of value for money. Wine is subjective, and what one person considers worth the price might not be the same for someone else. The $3 wines offers incredible value for everyday drinking, while the $10,000 wine offers a unique experience for special occasions. Here's a fun fact. Many wine experts have conducted blind taste tests, where they compare the cheap and expensive wines. Surprisingly, in some cases, even the expert couldn't tell the difference. This just goes to show that price isn't always an indicator of quality. It's all about personal preference. In one such test, participants were given a range of wines, from the cheapest to the most expensive. The results were surprising. Some of the cheapest wines ranked higher than the pricier options. This demonstrates that personal preferences and the context in which you enjoy the wine are crucial factors. Moreover, the story behind each bottle can add its perceived value. For example, a $10,000 bottle of Chateau Petrus might come with a rich history and sense of exclusivity that makes it more appealing to collectors and connoisseurs. On the other hand, a $3 bottle of Charles Shaw might be cherished for its accessibility and reliability. So, is a $10,000 French wine worth it? That's up to you to decide. Whether you're sipping on a weekday with a $3 bottle or celebrating a special occasion with $10,000 masterpiece, the most important thing is to enjoy the experience. Thanks for watching. If you're intrigued by most fascinating topics, check out our previous videos about snake venom and peanut butter.